Hey everybody, it is Daniel here for Mobile Syrup, and today we are looking at the brand new Pebble Steel. Now, before we get into the actual hardware, let's take a look at the box, because this is a really nice package that Pebble's put a lot of work into. So you can see here the onboarding process between the smartwatch and the phone itself is explained at go.getpebble.com. Now, it's a bit of a complicated process, so newbies may want to take a look at that before delving in. Inside the box we have the new charger, and while this is the same technology, it uses a sort of a magnetic latch as the previous Kickstarter version. It's red and it's a little bit smaller and it's more well made, so one of the first improvements. Now, the Pebble itself comes built in with a leather strap, which itself is much nicer than the original, but in the box it also comes with a metal strap, and that you will have to either take to a jeweler or a watch repair store and get it installed, or you can delve and do it yourself if you so desire. Now, the Pebble is a very different beast than the one you may remember from its Kickstarter days. And this is something that the company really wants to reinforce. This is not just a metal version of the original Pebble. This is something entirely new and much more professional than what you could buy a year ago. And this was actually announced almost a year to the day from the original Pebble's availability, even though the original went on Kickstarter in April 2012. The announcement for shipping was in January 2013. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at the two devices. Now we can see here, first of all, the strap is much wider on the original, and it's also plastic. It doesn't feel very good, and was a little bit clunky to wear, while the new Pebble Steel is finished very nicely. It's pure leather, and it's just a fantastic strap. Now, I don't know if I'm going to change to the metal strap, but there is that option if you want it. You can also see that the two devices are quite different in terms of build. Now, obviously one is metal and one is plastic, but just from looking at these buttons, you can tell that the buttons themselves are much more, I guess, evolved than the original. They're much more clicky. They don't feel nearly as cheap or as squishy, and they're a little bit closer together. But overall, it just lends the Pebble Steel a much more evolved and mature feeling. And you can see I got a Tweetbot notification. This device is hooked up to my iPhone, and it is paired using the new Pebble 2.0 app. And you can see here I can scroll through that tweet, and I can dismiss it if I want and go back. I can also switch between different watch faces if I want, and that they look really good on this screen. Even though it's the same technology as the original Pebble, the bezel is much smaller, and overall the screen is a little bit brighter thanks to a brighter backlight built in. At night you'll notice the backlight, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, I can shake it to turn on, but the backlight, it derives from the bottom middle, so there is a little bit of bleed. It's not as bad as I've seen in other devices, but it's certainly not fantastic. Now, the Pebble Steel is covered with Gorilla Glass 2, so it's going to be much less likely to scratch. I've had this Pebble for about a year, and you can see there are fingerprints and scratches there that I will never be able to get rid of. This one should hold up a lot better in the longer term. You can see there are 4 buttons here. This one is to go back or to reset. This one is the top one is to go up, bottom is to go down, and middle is to enter. Now, the enter button from the watch face menu will get you into the interface, and this is where you can go over and look at your previous notifications. That was something that was added recently. You can now set multiple alarms. You can change to different watch faces if you want, and you can also go into the different apps. Now, I have 3 apps installed. Pebble App Store has been expanding quite quickly, and Foursquare and Yelp were 2 of the launch partners that Pebble worked with to get these apps ready for the public. Now, they're very simple and actually work quite well, and they've convinced me that while smartwatches right now, a lot of the time, don't know what they want to be, whether they want to be a smartphone replacement or merely an accompaniment to a smartphone, Pebble has clearly outlined and defined its role in the ecosystem. They don't want to make complicated apps. They want to use the smartphone's Bluetooth and GPS capabilities to make it very quick and easy to find information. So for example, Foursquare and Yelp, you can quickly find different things to eat, different things to visit. If you want to find somewhere to buy some Tylenol or get your car fixed, you can do that as well. It's all very quick, and it uses the existing UI that you're used to with Pebble. So the Pebble 2.0 SDK is quite powerful. Now you can see here I downloaded a third-party app called Pebble Bucks, and this actually works with your Starbucks card, and it lets you find the balance and the number of stars on your Starbucks account. And if you know your card number, you can even input your barcode here and have the Starbucks itself scan your watch instead of your smartphone. Little things like that are big improvements over the Pebble 1.0 sort of interface. So overall, I'm really happy with the Pebble Steel. Not only is it smaller, it's more compact, it's thinner and lighter than the original, but it feels finally like a watch that I can wear in public and really be happy with. I'm a big watch fan. I have lots of different styles and kinds, and I love that this just feels like a beautiful watch. I can even input an analog case or an analog watch face like that, and feel very comfortable with it, just like I would a regular watch. Now, obviously, Pebble, this is still largely a first-generation product. The internals, the guts of the steel have not changed since the original was announced in April of 2012. There's a bit more of memory in here, but ultimately the capabilities are going to be the same. There's only 8 slots for apps or watch faces. Now, Pebble 2.0, whatever they call the next generation hardware, will likely have some sort of a color screen, or if it doesn't, it'll have an upgraded resolution, faster processor, etc. Now that Pebble has a lot more funding. And we're looking forward to seeing what the company does with that second generation hardware. We know that, just from smartphones, the evolution of smartphones, how quickly that changed in terms of quality. The Pebble line is likely going to get a lot faster, a lot more capable very quickly. So by itself, this being almost $300, it may not seem worth it, but as something to mirror your notifications and to occasionally do something productive like check into a Foursquare location, this even allows you to mirror your camera viewfinder and start taking photos or video. It allows you to change your Nest thermostat. It allows you to turn on and off your Philips Hue lights. Anything that has an API, anything that the company has allowed to work with its SDK will likely show up in some form on the Pebble App Store. And the capabilities are just growing very quickly. So I'm a huge supporter of Pebble, even if I'm a little bit skeptical still of the smartwatch ecosystem as a whole. Very few other companies have impressed me the same way that Pebble has, and to that I can say very well done, Pebble, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to do next. So this has been Daniel from Mobile Syrup, and this is the Pebble Steel. Thanks for watching.